Today we are making protein bowls. The cooking utensils that we need are a frying pan, nylon spoon, measuring cups and spoons, adaptive knife, and cutting board. And our ingredients, these are all optional, so you can pick different ones or keep these same ones, but a bell pepper, onion, tomatoes, shredded lettuce, avocado, 1 package of fully cooked meat strips, cheese, instant rice, taco seasoning, black or pinto beans, and a little bit of olive oil. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Steph.
So we are going to start with the frying pan. Check. A nylon spoon, and measuring cups and spoons, adapted knife, and the cutting board. Yep. And then ingredients, the bell pepper, onion, tomatoes, some shredded lettuce, an avocado, which we don't have because I'm allergic, a package of fully cooked meat strips, and instant rice.
We have a rice and beans together. You can get them separately or together, or if you don't like beans, you can get just rice.
Okay. And then cheese.
In the fridge.
Awesome. And our packet of taco seasoning. Okay. And then some olive oil.
Our refrigerated things, we've got our Fiesta cheese, any shredded cheese that you want to top it with, or no cheese is fine. And then we went with beef fajita. They're already cooked strips, so we're just going to heat them up, but they also have chicken if you don't like beef.
Our directions say to set the ingredients on the counter. Check. Slice vegetables into strips.
Right, so in trying to not waste food, I had a bell pepper from earlier today. So we have thick strips that we're gonna cut down, and we'll cut a few more. But if you take your bell pepper and set it down, you can take your knife and cut into the pepper and cut around the core. And then if there are seeds left, we're going to use our knife to carefully scoop out seeds. And you can pull those out if they won't cut out, and then get those seeds out of there. And then we're gonna cut them. You wanna cut them in kind of thin strips so that they'll warm up and cook nicely when we warm the meat up. For some of these thicker strips, if you get thicker, you can just trim them down. Okay, so I had an onion from earlier too. You're going to want to, if you have the whole onion, you need to cut off both of the ends and peel the outside off so that it's just down to the white part of the onion. And then I cut my onion in half so you can see it sit flat. Cut your onion, and then we're going to just cut some slices here. And what's nice about going this direction is when you look at these slices, you don't really have to do any more cutting. You can just break these apart into little half circles, and those are your slices. So we're gonna do the tomatoes. You can really use any kind of tomato. If you look at our shopping tip on tomatoes, we bought a couple of little Roma tomatoes instead of a whole carton of little cherry tomatoes because we weren't gonna use them all, and it saves us some money. So for these tomatoes, see the ends we don't want, so we're gonna cut the ends off with our knife and set those aside. So you can stand your tomato up, cut it right down the middle, and then you kind of just keep cutting it in halves and then into chunks. So these are gonna just go on top of the bowl. We're gonna make a bowl. If you decided when you were shopping you're gonna do tacos or fajitas with a tortilla, then these would just go inside there after everything's cooked.
So we won't put these in the frying pan?
Tomatoes will not go in the frying pan. These mushy hot tomatoes are gross.
Peppers and onions. Okay. Now it says to place the frying pan on the stove and turn it on to a medium high. So this stove, it's in the bottom corner. So we put it in the bottom corner. And then it says to a medium high. There's no numbers on it, but there's a low and a high, and this one's a medium. So if I turned it there, I would just have it on medium. But if I want it medium high, I have to go in between the medium and the high. So it's just kind of in the middle there.
And if yours has numbers, you probably want it around a 7.
Yeah, and now it says to set the timer for 5 minutes. So we'll use the microwave timer again.
Set timer, 500, and the timer button again.
And that means in 5 minutes it will be hot enough for us to use. And center the frying pan over the stove.
So while we're waiting for the frying pan to heat up, we bought a head of lettuce that is very hard to open. I'm gonna grab some scissors. But you can buy shredded lettuce too, but we bought a head of lettuce and we're just gonna shred it ourselves. So open it up. It's pretty easy. Take off kind of the outer leaves that are kind of old looking. And then take your knife and just cut off a little chunk of the head of lettuce and put it, so it's stable. And then you're just cutting it into slices, and then, or if you want to, you can just rip it into pieces that will go in your bowl.
The timer went off, so we're gonna add a little bit of oil to our hot frying pan.
Make sure that you don't put your face over it and you keep your hands away because it is hot.
Ooh, do you hear the sizzle? Ooh, oh.
So if it starts splattering, you can move it to the side. We're gonna turn the heat down just a little closer to medium.
It was sizzling and going crazy. Let's wait and see if it does it again. Don't put your face by it. Oh, now it seems okay.
So now we're going to add our vegetables and our meat.
And the meat is already cooked.
So we're just heating it up.
It is really sizzling. Now it says to add taco seasoning and 1/4 cup of water, and we mix it together for 6 minutes.
Take our 1/4 of a cup of red one, fill it up with water, and put it in. That's actually going to cool it down a little bit. Put our seasoning in.
And we want to do this for 6 minutes. So I'll set our timer, 6 minutes, start. And just keep stirring.
And if it seems a little too hot, because everyone's stove is a little bit different, you can still adjust the temperature and turn it down a little bit.
And if it's pretty thick, you can always add more water. We might add a little bit more water to ours. Because the water evaporates from the heat. So when your meal is smoking like this, microwaves have a feature on them that says fan. And when you touch it, underneath the microwave, all of the smoke goes right up into there, so your kitchen doesn't become smoky. You can see it going. Now our 6 minutes is up, so we're gonna make the rice and beans.
So depending on the package that you get, there are instructions on how long it goes for and how to open the package. But this one tells us on the back to tear 2 inches to vent it so it doesn't explode. This is very important. Make sure you open it a little bit. And then to put it in for 90 seconds or 1.5 minutes. So we're gonna put it in the microwave. And then we're gonna do cook time 9-0, start. And now that our 6 minutes are up and our veggies are heated, we are going to make sure that we turn off the stove. Okay, our rice is done. Now the container is hot, so it'll tell you to make sure you grab it on the sides and bring it down and let it sit to cool for 1 minute. So after the 1 minute and it cools a little bit, notice it still might steam and be hot, so be careful. But we pick it up, we dump it into our bowl or our tortilla, and you can see there's rice and beans. You don't have to use the whole container because it's more than one serving. And then we're gonna top it with the things that we want to eat. So we're gonna take our spoon and some of our fajita mix. We're gonna put it in the bowl. Make sure you get some of the veggies. And then we're gonna top it with, we'll just scoop it all in, why not? We're gonna top it with some of our cheese. Don't have to measure it, just a little mini handful. And some of our lettuce, we shredded or tore. And some of our tomatoes. And then if we have avocado or onions or other things, more onions or anything we want to put on, it's all done.
Yum.